Happy New Year, Libra. Welcome to your 2015 Runescope with me. My name is Amanda. As always, just a quick reminder to check out the video for your rising sign as well, if you know it. That can give you some more information on what other areas and issues you may be dealing with in 2015. Of course, the only way to get a reading for you, specifically for you and not for the thousands of other Libra and Libra risings and Libra moons, or people whose chart ruler is Libra, is to schedule one with me. I do those on Skype. It's $65 for a 30-minute session. Just drop me a line at the email address in this video or below this video if you would like to set up an appointment. Please be patient. It can take me a few days to get back to you if there are quite a few people ahead of you. But that it can be a good time to get a reading at the beginning of a new year. That way I connect with your energy specifically, and this will give you a blueprint, but we'll really be able to hone in on the primary areas that will be highlighted for you personally. I also do have gift certificates available all year, so if you would like to give the gift of a reading to a loved one at any point during the year, drop me a line and let me know, and we can get that set up. And also wanted to mention I'm thinking of doing an online rune class, teaching people how to use the runes for divination as I do in my readings. So if that is something you would be interested in, just drop me a line at the same email address and let me know, and then I'll add those people that are interested. Fluff bomb. Hope you enjoyed that. Special appearance by Xander for you guys. Yeah, just drop me a line, and for those that are interested, if I decide to do that, I will let everyone know. It's really just based on interest, how many people would be interested, whether or not I decide to do it. So if you are already emailing me about a consultation, just mention in the email that you would like information about the class and when that will be starting, etc. And I will add you to that list. But let's jump into 2015 Libra. And the tarot wanted to go first with you. I'm going to be covering January through June with the tarot cards, and then July through December with the runes. I have already cast the runes and laid out the tarot shuffle and everything in the essence of saving time, as these readings were already a bit lengthy. So the first thing that I notice here, Libra, is that the first 6 months is going to be a lot of focus on emotions and emotional relationships for you. And, that's not, you're an air sign, so that's not exactly an area that all of you are comfortable with. If you have a heavy water influence or a lot of fire, you may be a bit more comfortable with it, or just may be able to deal with it a little bit. But what I find with air signs is that you guys do try to rationalize. You live in the mind, you're very rational and practical, very analytical, and emotions don't really hold up very well to analytical. They are not practical. They are not quiet. They are not analytical. They are the opposite of that. So it doesn't surprise me that, if there are emotional issues and things going on in the first 6 months, that you would, maybe throw you for a minute. You may have a bit more of a difficult time dealing with that, figuring out other people's motivations. If they're coming from an emotional place, if you're dealing with people that have a lot of water energy, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Some of you, this may have to do with a triangle dynamic in a relationship. Others of you, it may have to do with children. And either children misbehaving, not behaving. Maybe there's custody stuff going on with children. For some of you, there may be some issues with the past connected to a love relationship. Maybe an ex coming back, or somebody that disappointed you reappearing. But the main focus for the first 6 months for you Librans is there's something that you've always wanted to happen with the 10 of Cups. I'm sorry, the 9 of Cups in the reverse. The 9 of Cups in the upright is the wish fulfillment card. So that is your hopes and dreams, your wishes. In the reverse, this may be something that you've given up on, Libra. So your challenge may be in the first 6 months not giving up on a dream. And for a lot of you, this may be something that is financial or career, a career goal, a career dream. Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's starting your own business. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is something maybe you just haven't had time to take action on. Maybe it's finding the time to move on it. Maybe because the Fool card's coming up next to it, it feels like a risk. So maybe there is, you know, whatever this is you want to do or pursue, this dream, to actually make it come into fruition, you may have to take a risk of some sort, a financial investment, an investment of time. So it may cost you something to go after this, and you may feel like it's too big of a risk for you to take. But so your focus may be overcoming that. You may be looking at things in a new perspective. Is there a way that I can do this without it costing me so much time, so much effort, so much money? You may be exploring other avenues. And that's the message that I'm getting. That's what you should do, Libra, January through June. I'm trying to keep an eye on the cat, make sure he doesn't catch himself on fire. They're fascinated by the candles. Yeah, so I think you will be exploring other avenues or considering doing that, Libra, and you should. You know what, if it will take an expenditure of money, because I feel like if you don't do this, whatever this is, if you don't do it, if you don't at least give it a shot, it will be one of those things that you're always kind of like, what if? What if I would have tried that? Or what if I would have at least explored other avenues to make this happen? So definitely, you know, give it some thought, Libra. I think if you do, you're going to find a new direction and some help that's going to be available to you for this. Maybe the Queen of Rods. And so this is normally a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and she's presenting as a queen. So this may be somebody who is in their mid-30s or older. Doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be female either. It could be a male. That's how she's presenting. But in these general readings, you know, these energies can go a lot of ways. For some of you, this may be you taking on the qualities of the Queen of Rods, Libra. And the Queen of Rods is very innovative. She has a lot of ideas, but she's very passionate about her goals and the people that she loves. She's very passionate about, if she's not passionate about something or someone, she's not going to put the effort into it. And, you know, this person could be a help to you if it's not you. You know, if this person doesn't present herself, it could be that you just need to take on her traits and go after something with a tenacity. Even though it may be a lot of work and a lot of a burden with the Ten of Wands. But what I feel like is that this is for most of you another person that's going to come in and ease your burden. You know, this is somebody that's going to share the responsibility, help you shoulder some of the burden when it comes to, for instance, if you have children, maybe this is somebody who's going to, you know, take care of your children while you pursue this. Maybe you need more time to handle, to take on extra responsibilities, or maybe you're working full time, but you're also going to try to start your own thing in the evenings on weekends, and you need somebody to kind of maybe look after your children while you do this. So this could be your mom for some of you, or an older sister, or just a good friend. But whoever this Queen of Rods is, she's a big help to you. And don't shoulder the burden on your own, Libra, if there's somebody here that will help you. Now, this could be a compromise situation where she's gonna, you know, maybe you guys switch off, you do favors for each other. Maybe you watch her kids or help her out with something in return. But I feel like that this will most likely not be money. It seems like you'll kind of barter and trade and help each other out because she has something that she needs help with as well. So, and if this is you, Libra, taking on the qualities of the Queen of Rods, it just means that you're going to give up something with the Temperance card. You're going to give up something in order to pursue something else. You know, you'll make a sacrifice, but it's leading to this goal that you want. Now, for some of you, this focus could be on an actual person with the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be an Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo man. For some of you, most of you. He is presenting as male, but could be also a female energy. The Knights are normally, you know, teenagers, somebody in their teens or 20s. So this may be somebody who is a romantic interest for you. Maybe you feel like this is a risk. Maybe you're not sure if you can trust this person. And that's your kind of, It's kind of your focus in the first 6 months. Maybe you're afraid to put all your hopes and dreams into this person. You're not real sure. You feel like it would be a risk for you. Take your time with that. I will tell you though, Libra, for most of you, he is coming up in the upright, which means he's presenting as somebody who is honest. I feel like for most of you, you can't believe what he's telling you. And earth signs are generally, not all of them, there are bad earth signs, just like any other element. But earth signs are generally pretty reliable, responsible people, even when they're younger. And whether this is a business or personal relationship, because I feel like it'll be different for all of you, you know, whether they're usually pretty steadfast and reliable in that they're normally looking for something stable and long-term in their partnerships, whether they are for business or for you know, emotional partnerships. So good news there. But what I am seeing, again, what I mentioned before, is a triangle dynamic in a relationship. Libra, there may be somebody who is, so you may have this Knight of Pentacles that you're interested in, but then you've got this Knight of Cups as well. And this is normally a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, again presenting as a Knight. So someone who may be younger than you, but generally he's late teens, early 20s, or actually, you know, in his 20s. But I mean, this could be showing up just to show you that both of these guys are younger than you, or, you know, if they are men, they could also be females for you guys out there, you straight guys. But yeah, he could represent a triangle dynamic in a relationship. And what's showing up is that somebody's just bored and playing around. So, I mean, if it's you, Libra, that maybe you are in this committed partnership with the Knight of Pentacles and you're risking that to look into something with this Knight of Cups, or it's the Knight of Cups who's in a relationship. But whoever this is seeking this out for pleasure. I do not feel like this is a serious relationship. If you're risking a serious relationship for something that's a bit frivolous, that's your decision to make. We always have free will, Libra. But, you know, maybe that's what you're weighing. Maybe you just feel like really like you need some sort of, you know, fulfillment that you're not getting. If that's the case, I would say that it's probably time to consider whether you should stay in this relationship. And Libra, you're ruled by Venus, so you're always going to have people drawn to you. But if you are questioning this person's motives, maybe if you feel like you would be giving up something really good and this person's, you know, flirting with you and wanting to get something going with you even though you're in a relationship with this other person, just know if it's not you that's bored, it's this other person who's just, you know, playing. Even though he's coming up in the upright, he's not a bad guy. But I mean, I feel like his intentions are not for long term. And maybe that's fine with you, Libra. You know, you'll be weighing this out. You know, everybody's different. So and we always have free will. This is just kind of letting you know what energies are at play. So some interesting things going on here. Libra. What can't be changed the first 6 months here? There does seem to be some sort of issue around children. So maybe that's what you're concerned about here, Libra. What if you know, end up divorcing this person or leaving this relationship, and then, you know, they'll be, you know, you're most concerned about the kids. Financial things too, but mostly about, you know, will I get to see my kids? You know, will someone else keep my kids? Some of you, I mean, maybe your mate has custody of your kids. And you're just you're missing them, you know, you miss seeing them. Some of you may be wanting to go back to school in 2015, and financially it just may not be possible. Maybe that's why those of you who this is a career thing, maybe that's why you're thinking about taking a risk here. To like, look, I got to increase money. I can't get loans, or I don't want to get in that kind of a debt. I'd like to pay as I go, but I can't really afford it right now. Don't give up on that, Libra. It may not happen in 2015, but you may be able to really kind of work out a plan, or get someone to help you, get someone to ease that burden, to enable you to at least plan to do this either later in 2015, maybe in the fall, or in 2016. So Some of you may be thinking of, you know, how am I going to send my kids to college? Because again, I have this, you know, this concern coming up around kids. Some of you may have a child that's just not applying him or herself in school. You know, with this student card coming up in reverse. And maybe you were the same way, Libra. Some of you may kind of be like, well, you know, what can I say? My kid takes after me. I didn't really apply myself either. Because this is an intelligent child. They're just bored. And they're not applying themselves the way that they should. And you understand that, but at the same time, you have high hopes for them. So, you know, that may be a bit of an issue in the first part of the year, you know, figuring out a plan or trying to work with a child who's really maybe stubborn and, you know, not willing to put forth the effort and when it comes to education. Or maybe this is a kid that's out of school and, you know, living in your house, but it hasn't gotten a job. So that may be the issue as well. You may have some conflict there, and part of you may be torn as to what to do about that for the first part of 2015. Yeah, again, some arguments coming up around children over the first part. Now, these energies can always work both ways, Libra. Maybe you are disagreeing with the way your ex or whoever is has your children part of the time. Maybe even your parents, if they spend a lot of time with your parents or his or her parents. You just may feel like they're picking up bad habits. You may not like how they're acting when they come back to your house. So there may be some disagreements, some things that you need to work out with people who share, you know, the responsibility of your children. If you don't have any children, it could be that you are hearing about this from another family member, and maybe you're concerned about nieces or nephews or younger children in the family. Some of you may, if you've been separated from you, I just feel like some of you have been separated from your children for a while, and I'm sorry to see that. I feel like you may be trying to, you know, get the right to see them again or work something out, and you're just really coming up against some nasty folks here. With the Knight of Rods in the reverse, that is normally a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And the Knight, again, so we're talking about somebody younger or who acts very immature. So yeah, late teens or 20s. Queen of Swords in the reverse, air sign like you, another Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or somebody with those energies. She's a more mature woman, but yeah, it may be that you get some bad news. It may be from another child that you get some bad news regarding your child, or a Page of Cups, which is normally a water sign, again, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer child. Somebody may just say something bad about your child, like they did something, or they were, you know, acting up, or somebody may say that your child has emotional issues. And I feel like this is a dig at you. It has nothing to do with the child here. The child may be sad or upset about something, but I feel like they have legitimate concern to be upset about, probably just being around these people. Because these two are troublemakers, these two in particular. Knight of Rods in reverse is somebody who, very stubborn, even in, very prideful. They let pride get in the way of making sound decisions. If they've made a decision and it's wrong, they will still stand by it and defend it to the end because they made it, and no matter who gets hurt. The Queen of Swords is somebody who, you know, you can be the Queen of Swords, Libra, if angered. This is the negative side of the air signs. You can cut with your words. You can really tear somebody to ribbons with your intellect. So if, you know, maybe this is you, maybe these people you're just fed up with this situation, and sometime between January and June, you're drawn into a verbal confrontation about children or about news that's come to you that is inaccurate or flawed or not true, or somebody trying to block you from reuniting with someone, and you just kind of let loose. If not, it could be that you're on the receiving end of this. And I think you will be weighing up how to handle it. I think that could be where this comes in, because I just feel like this is stress. And again, you've got this Queen of Rods, though, in your corner, who will be able to help you see things maybe in a different way and will help ease the burden. I do feel like this woman has... she's going to have a really excellent advice for you as far as how to deal with whatever issues arise. So it's good to see that you have this person in your corner. But let's jump into July through December and see if we can get some more clues as to how this situation is going to play out. Your main focus the second half of the year is going to be on partnership. And for some of you, this will be emotional partnership, relationships, but it can also mean a new job or a business partnership. So, this rune tells me that this is something that's probably hidden from you, definitely right now, but probably through most of the first 6 months of the year. So this could be somebody, you know, if you're single, it could be that, yeah, you've got this stuff going on, you've got these two people, but then you've got something altogether more intriguing that comes along in the second half of the year, Libra. So it looks to be a big year for coupling up and relationships. So, and those of you who are in a relationship, I mean, I feel like if you make a choice between these two guys, you'll be solidifying something come the second half of the year. You may decide to, you know, no, this Knight of Cups isn't worth the risk. I'm going to stay with my Knight of Pentacles, and, you know, you may be rejuvenating that relationship. This is also the rune of strong sexual compatibility. So I do feel like a lot of your focus will be on maybe exploring new things in that area, trying things you haven't tried. And just enjoying a very strong attraction to someone else, Libra. So, and that's going to be nice after all of this kind of stress of the first 6 months here. For those of you that this is a job opportunity or a business partnership, again, this is something that's not on the radar for most of you the first half of the year. This is something that comes in or presents itself strongly in the second half of the year. Probably because your focus is on other things the first half of the year. And you're just not in the frame of mind, nor do you have the time really to focus on this until the second half of the year. But I mean, your only challenge here may be in feeling like maybe feeling like you don't have all the information. You may feel like somebody's withholding something from you, or it could be this person's just mysterious. Maybe they're a Scorpio or have that kind of, you know, Scorpio aura about them, where they kind of play their cards close to their chest. And so you know, you air signs like to ask questions and draw people out, Libra. So you may be doing your question game and trying to figure this person out, but I feel like you're enjoying it regardless. If this is a business situation, I just feel like you need to ask pertinent questions, Libra. That's really going to come in handy. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Sometimes Libra can be a bit meek. You are really the meekest of the air signs that at least the Libras that I've known. You know, Gemini and Aquarius generally are really, you know, they'll cut to the chase and out there. Libra, you tend to choose your words more carefully and sometimes can even be a bit shy. So definitely ask those pertinent questions if you are looking to start a new job opportunity, because I feel like as long as you ask, you will be able to find out all the information you need to make a decision. The help that's going to be available to you the second half of the year is that even when there are delays, you're gonna have, again, you're still going after this goal. So I feel like whatever this is that you start, especially if this has to do with career, this risk that you take, whether it's the career or the relationship, you're still going after this. You may run into some delays in the second half of the year, but that's going to work in your favor. It's either going to give you a break, a chance to relax, or some time to finish up some other things or deal with other areas of your life. For some of you, it could be you've got a relationship and this new job opportunity going on. So if you're going to be very busy all through 2015, Libra. I think some of you may feel like you are being opposed at certain points, but it may become more apparent in the second half of the year by a group of people who, and this is just a lesson that you're dealing with. So, I mean, this is probably something that may be coming up for you, Libra, in your astrology overviews for 2015. So it may just come up, it be energy that you're going through during eclipses or at certain times, certain months of the year. And it could be these same people that were popping up in the first half of the year, Libra. And for whatever reason, they just may be stronger than you at this time. I think that's temporary. I don't think it's going to stay that way. You know, it just may be at this is your time to, you know, you have to adjust to someone else being in control of something in some way. The unfortunate thing is that I think that whatever this is they have control of, or however this is that they have power over you is, it's something that affects you in a very personal way or emotional way. You know, so that'll be different for all of you, but that's what I'm really getting. But I think that true will win out is what I'm getting. So whoever's being true, whoever is being honest, whoever is not double dealing is going to win the day in this situation. So just make sure that's you, Libra. Make sure, and it may be tempting to kind of give back. If these people are treating you in a negative way, it can be very tempting to do that back. But yeah, I caution against that. Definitely, that's part of the lesson, is fighting that temptation, because you'll be rewarded for doing so, Libra. And this is, for a lot of you, this is something you have never encountered before. It's not even something maybe that was on your radar. This may have been something that you thought could never happen, you know, and, but it has, and you're adaptable, Libra, if nothing else. So you're going to deal with it. And I think there's luck and protection with you in whatever this is, again, because you do have Thor's hammer coming up. So you do have the protection of the gods. You do have the protection of your spirit guides and angels. Call on them when you feel that you need that at different times throughout the year. What can't be changed the second half of the year? For some of you, this may be dealing with a legal battle. Again, custody stuff, divorce, issues dealing with, you know, settlements. There just may be a lot of arguing and bickering connected to this. For some of you, this, you know, doesn't have to be a legal dispute, but it is a karmic situation, whatever it is, and it does have to do with a loss or a freeze on a situation, a delay, a separation, not being able to move forward with plans. You're being halted in some way. And there may be a lot of messages, again, going back and forth that are, you know, not the nicest. And a lot of these may be digital, online, text messages, things like that. You may even hear things through the rumor mill about yourself, and you're like, seriously? Someone said that. But I do feel like, don't make yourself vulnerable to this. So what I'm hearing is, don't put yourself in situations where you, number one, need to see that if you don't have to, or you know, if somebody broaches that topic, if you fire back, it's just, you know, it's kind of pointless. So, I mean, I kind of am feeling like, I'm almost seeing you just kind of shaking your head and rolling your eyes and being like, what's new? Or almost just making a joke out of it, Libra. Like, oh, you know, I found out some new information about myself today. That's going to win you a lot of points with, you know, because maybe people who are giving you these messages, they don't really know who to believe. But I mean, it seems like you are going to be, because you're coming from the place of truth in most cases, not all of you, but most of you are coming from a place of truth, and I think that people are going to pick up on that. You know, so I do think that, you know, someone close to you, be sure that you're asking pertinent questions, finding out, especially in partnership issues or new, whether it's business or personal, that you're asking those pertinent questions and kind of getting to the root of things. Because if you don't, it's possible that you could feel like you risked something for someone who was not worth the effort. Because at the end of the year, Libra, there is someone close to you may disappoint you. And this may just be a continuing trend. Maybe you used to be close to these people who are causing these problems. But normally when this rune comes up in the reverse, this is the rune of joy. It just means that things that, you know, don't turn out quite as we would hope. We're disappointed, and it's normally we're disappointed by someone that we had high hopes for, or that we originally thought of as a friend or a lover or someone who had our back. So yeah, just make sure that you are picky about who you trust in 2015, Libra. Don't blindly place trust in anyone, for sure. And definitely don't sacrifice something good for someone who's just bored. Because, and you know, maybe there's a strong physical attraction to this guy. And that makes it difficult to say no. But, you know, unless you've got it on good authority that he's being, you know, honest with you, that he's looking for the same thing you're looking for, if you're not just looking for some fly-by-night, something that's a fling or something like that, then you need to make sure you're on the same page. So ask those pertinent questions, those blunt questions, even if you're afraid to, because that you're going to get the answers that you need. They may not be the answers that you want, but they're the answers that you need to make a decision, Libra. So that's what I see for 2015. You know, a lot of love stuff going on. So if it's been kind of ho-hum in that area, I do think there will be a lot of action in 2015, but it may come with dilemmas and it may come with some big decisions, Libra. I do hope it's a good year for you, though. I hope that's helpful. And you know, the idea of this is to maybe, you know, none of this is set in stone. Maybe you can avoid some of this, just knowing ahead of time. So good luck with 2015, and I'll be back here next month as usual with the monthlies. Thanks, Libra.